Okay, I have to talk to you about something because I genuinely haven't been able to stop thinking about it lately. Something is shifting in luxury jewelry right now, and the deeper I went into it, in the rabbit hole, the more I fell down. You all know I love luxury. I've got my Cartier Love bracelet, my Van Cleef, my Tiffany earrings, I've got a mix, and none of that is going anywhere, trust me. But the way we are buying and wearing fine jewelry in 2026 has quietly changed, and it's not that logos are suddenly over, it's just that what we actually want from a piece is having a big shift at the moment, and that's what I have been seeing. So grab a cup of tea or coffee and make yourself comfortable, and I will share my thoughts where I think luxury jewelry are shifting towards, because by the end of this video I think you will look at your own jewelry a little differently. So first, let me be real with you, because I never want to be that person to judge someone else's love for certain designer pieces. But to be honest, social media has made these classic from Van Cleef, Cartier stack more mainstream than ever. But that's also the thing, how we call the basic luxury arm stack basic. It's not because it's cheap, it's because we all seen it 1,000 times. And Shein, this fast fashion house, literally sells a $3 arm stack. For that reminds me a little bit too much of the Van Cleef Cartier look, and it's only $3. And yet, to be fair, the Love bracelet and Alhambra, the Serpentine, are icons for a reason, and they do hold their value if you take care of them, and they are not cheap. What's changed isn't the pieces, it's the energy around them. A couple of years ago, that matchy logo stack was the whole statement, but that hype has really cooled down, and into that space, something more personal has walked in, and that's basically the shift. So the first shift is honestly simple. We've gone from matching to mixing. Instead of 3 recognizable logos lined up in a row, I keep seeing people curate one piece they love from a big house, and then something independent or vintage or sentimental layered into next to it. And it's not about spending less, it's about every piece on your wrist actually meaning something, and luxury becomes one beautiful note in the whole picture instead of the entire outfit looking like it's screaming logos. And honestly, it just looks more like you, and it got more taste, which when you think about it, is kind of the entire point. Okay, so now I need to talk to you about diamonds, because this is the part I genuinely could not stop researching. If you haven't noticed already, lab-grown diamonds have completely rewritten the math. Mainstream lab-grown prices have dropped around 74% in just 5 years, and a finished lapstone now costs 80 to 90% less than the mined version. So suddenly a big sparkly stone is within reach for almost everyone, which in a lot of ways is genuinely wonderful. But the thing about luxury, and you know this as well as I do, the moment something is everywhere, it stops feeling special. And the diamonds giant, they knew that better than anyone. De Beers, one of the biggest diamond companies, they literally spent a century controlling the supply of diamonds to create the illusion that they are rare. That was the whole game. And lab-grown diamonds blew it open. It's hit them so hard that De Beers has been written down by almost $7 billion in 3 years. And now they're basically being sold off. The everyday small stones are losing value as soon as they leave the counter, and the only natural diamonds really holding on are the rare ones, like the pink and blue color diamonds, the huge flawless whites, etc. So let me just drop the bomb. Your diamond was maybe never an investment. Diamond is Forever was just a 1940s ad campaign with Marilyn Monroe on the top. Diamonds were never rare. We were sold a feeling and thought to call it an asset. Okay, so I really want to know how you feel about this shift in the diamond industry, and if you think that it still makes sense to choose natural diamonds over lab-grown when you purchase new jewelries. And something that I've really been seeing clearly the past year is that because when classic white sparkle suddenly is everywhere, then the desire for it has also slowed down, and you can see how many of the big designer houses have started with colors. And colored gemstones are having a real moment in 2026. Emeralds, sapphires, rubies, these soft unexpected tones, because a deep green emerald or a warm pink sapphire feels much more personal in a way than a standard round diamond. In the past month, when shopping at Tiffany's, Cartier and Van Cleef, I keep noticing the big houses are making smaller version of their classic. Tinier and more everyday, easier to use on an everyday basis basically, and leaning much harder into color. Like Bulgari, they keep expanding its color gemstones, and Cartier's playing with colors on their Love bracelets, for instance, and Tiffany has added a lot of mid-sizes and a step on some of their more popular models. So luxury isn't dying here, not even a little. It's evolving to meet the craving we all have to feel like individuals, and honestly that makes me really happy for the brands that we all love. And something I always come back to, and I think it matters more now than ever, the material itself plays a bigger role as part of the value. Gold is near record high right now, and so unlike most fashion, a beautiful piece of fine jewelry isn't only an expense. It's something with real worth that can stay with you and one day go to someone you love. That to me is the actual reason to buy what you genuinely adore. In good materials and durable materials, instead of chasing whatever trending this month, because the true value of a diamond now is more emotional, not financial. And in 2026 we keep hearing that unique independent pieces are more authentic than logos. Finding the perfect obscure little atelier piece takes time and taste, and honestly the freedom to travel. So what do you think? Is uniqueness actually more exclusive than the logo it's replacing? Let me show you what I mean, just as an example of a piece I'm obsessed with at the moment. It's a new gold bracelet that I bought on my trip in Italy, this one. And I found it in Florence. It's by Diorica, made in the Vicenza gold district. It's a handicraft gold lacework, and literally sewn with a needle and gold thread. Each tiny diamond cut bead is called a dorica. It's reversible and it even turns into a choker, and it's in the spirit of that romantic Italian openwork tradition that houses like Buccellati are known for. And I just love the way the beads catches the light. I've gotten so many compliments on it, both in Italy and back here at home in Stockholm. And I can tell you exactly where I got it, why I love it, and this one was a gift from my boyfriend, and I love that it embodies the Italian heritage, as this type of lacework is signature style in Italy. It will always bring me back to Italy, and I know almost no one around me will ever have the same exact bracelet. And I really think that in 2026, that feeling, the story, the uniqueness is the real luxury. So if there's one thing I want you to take from this video, don't let any trend tell you what to want. Wear the Love bracelet if you love it. Stack your logos if they make you happy. Chase the colored stone if they are calling your name, because in the end, the best pieces are always the one that tells your story. Trends will keep changing, but real luxury, I mean, it's always been a feeling, at least for me. Thank you for watching and hanging out with me. I would love to hear your thought about how you feel about buying your next jewelry piece now in 2026. Has this shift impacted you to buy more unique pieces and lab-grown diamonds? Let me know in the comments. And this bracelet is actually just one of the things that I got from my Italy trip. Next week I will post my Capri and Amalfi video and share my unexpected purchase from Dior. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. If you want to continue hanging out, you can go shopping with me on my Milan vlog here, or unbox my latest luxury haul in my video from Florence here. Anyway, I hope to see you soon. Thanks for hanging out. Bye bye!